Okay, so this is my reaction of Series 11, Episode 3, the Rosa Park episode, which is titled Rosa. Simple enough. This episode, to be honest, is an interesting, because the thing is, it is good, but the thing is, it's also dragged out quite a lot, to be honest. It feels like it's more like, say, a half an hour episode stretched out to 50 minutes. There's seriously a lot of bit in there just dedicated into basically just explaining everything about Rosa Parks. It does have that kind of mentality of, say, with the Hartnell era, where they're trying to also give a history lesson in it. Which, to be honest, whether you find that a good or a bad thing, that's up to you. But to be honest, all the information they were giving me, basically, I already knew. To be honest, I mean, I knew about Rosa Parks from literally. If you've ever watched Horrible Histories or read the books, there's even a song about Rosa Parks in Horrible Histories, but that's how I initially found out about her when I was little. But this, to be honest, okay, let's talk about the good stuff first, and then I'll talk about the bad stuff. So the good stuff is the fact that they had the balls to show the blatant racism. They didn't sugarcoat anything. They did actually show it, and also they had they had one of the companions, Ryan, actually physically slapped, which is a good thing. That's because I was worried, about this series being censored, considering that it was basically not showing any death or anything. But it seems that they're not censoring it in other regards, so that seems good. The direction was a little bit weird. It seemed to jump around a bit in times, and there were a couple of shots where it was just like, for example, um, by the way, we're starting to get into the like the shots when the Doctor and the her companions are outside a motel and they're standing in a perfect formation. That is basically just something to do for the trailer, and that there's no logistical reason why they'd be standing in this like perfect alignment for the camera to pan down like that. That was a bit odd. There was also the initial encounter with this week's villain, and I can't remember his name because I was only mentioned like the once. And yeah, let's get into the bad. The villain of this story, he was pretty shit, to be honest. He was barely in the story. He didn't come off as any sort of threat at all to the story. I never felt, and when it was revealed that he couldn't, physically hurt anyone, then basically that completely eliminated any threat that he could possibly have. I don't, but what I was curious about is also how he's also defeated. Ryan basically just zaps him into the past, and that's it. There's no final confrontation or anything like that. That's just it. It's done over. So the villain of this story was pretty pathetic, and to be honest, I mean, when I initially the rumors about this story was that it was going to be a pure historical, and to be honest, it probably was going to be a pure historical by the looks of it, because this villain, this time traveling villain, and that who has a vortex mirror, yeah, he just feels sort of shooed into the story just so the story, has a villain to defeat, which is just a bit crap, to be honest. He is very one note, and to be honest, he's just utterly pathetic, though. Uh, in terms of some other good stuff, I'm really enjoying the companion dynamic. I really like Graham. I also really like and I also like Yasmin, and that they have really grown on me. Um, the problem is that We do get a little bit more of character development of Yasmin, though still not a lot. She's still the least developed character out of the three of them. And I think that's, part of the problem. And also, this episode is co-wrote by Chris Chibnall again. So, three episodes in a row. Come on, Chris Chibnall. But it's also... I can't remember who was the other person who wrote it. But I feel like it's just like... And I'm going to talk about Jodie Whittaker again, because I've got to talk about her. She did seem to be a bit more doctory in this one. Her lines no longer felt, when she was performing that, she didn't seem as though she was just putting on a performance. It felt a lot more natural in this story than it had previous weeks. So that was good. It felt more like just like she is the Doctor rather than this is Jodie Whittaker playing the Doctor, which is how it felt in episodes 1 and 2. Though overall the story just kind of drags out a bit, because the thing is, it's very predictable in its plot of you know where it's going to go. Basically, I mean, the whole plot of putting history back on track is one of those things that has been done so many times, not just in Doctor Who, but in so many other media, and that it's just not particularly that interesting, to be honest. And to be honest, Rosa Parks, she is in this, though she's, despite the episode being named after her, she's not really in this an awful lot, to be honest. I wish she'd had a bit more build-up, because of her, deciding to sit on the bus. We'll have that bit in the opening where she nearly refuses to go through the coloured people door on the bus. But to be honest, I think we should add a little bit more of that, a bit more of a push to see, how, a bit more like what maybe was going through her head or something. I mean, I know it's obviously based on the real person Rosa Parks, but just you gotta remember this is television as well, so you've got to try and make it have a bit of logistics in that sort of sense. Overall, this felt the most Doctor Who episode out of Series 11 so far, but it still doesn't feel like Doctor Who. And also, when they play that fucking song at the end, that lyric song, and they play it over the credits as well, which is really, really irritating. So, that is just irritating. It feels more like it doesn't want to be Doctor Who anymore. It's just saying, oh, no, we're not Doctor Who, we're something, it's just a branding thing. It feels more like it wants to be a different type of drama. It feels like it wants to be, I'm trying to think, some other type of drama that isn't Doctor Who with that music, because that just completely ruins it in that moment. As soon as that music started playing, I was just rolling my eyes at it, and I was really annoyed that they played it over the end credits as well. Also, the next time trailers are fucking short. Like, seriously, the opening theme is incredibly short, and then the trailers for next week's episode are incredibly short as well. I mean, Chris Chibnall, there's giving us a tease, okay? And then there's just not showing anything to make people care. I mean, next week, spiders. Now, could this be a return of the spiders from Planet of the Spiders? Probably not, but, I can keep my hopes up, can't I? Maybe. I mean, this episode, it came closer. It's the closest to feeling like Doctor Who, whereas episodes 1 and 2 just didn't. Episode 2 was utterly just a massive build-up to nothing in the end. And episode 1 was a rip-off of Predator or a crime drama, basically. it, and to be honest, I think the reason that this episode is better is because I believe I can safely assume now the bits I enjoyed probably were not written by Chris Chibnall. Is the thing, because Chris Chibnall, he can't write Doctor Who. He can't. I'm so, to anyone who likes, actually, he can't write Doctor Who. His Doctor Who episodes have always been subpar. Because the thing is, he's better at when he's writing, his original stuff that he's come up with himself, then he does a better job. But when he has to, write for an established character or, an established franchise or series like Doctor Who, that's where he just seems to fuck it up and either just basically going his own complete direction of basically, yeah, it might be this thing, but I'm going to do my own thing with it and ignore everything else, or he just does something completely bland that goes nowhere, like the Ghost Monument. So overall, did I enjoy this? I somewhat enjoyed it. Though in times I was about 10 minutes in, I was just looking at the clock, like you're thinking, wait, we're only 10 minutes in, it feels like it's been half an hour. So, it does drag on a bit, and it irritates me at times, to be honest. So I would call the Ghost Monument is easily the best episode out of Series 11 so far, but that's not saying much. Is it a good story? I wouldn't say good, but I wouldn't call it bad. I would say it was good if you want a bit of a history lesson. Though other than that, to be honest, it's kind of just like one of those. That was an episode that was, okay, I guess. So that's what I'm going to see with that one. That episode 3 is okay at best. Bearing in mind these are my initial reactions of when the episode has literally just finished airing, so my opinion could and probably will change when I decide to rewatch, or if I decide to rewatch the episodes. To be honest, I'm probably not going to be, because I'm really not enjoying Series 11. I don't have that enjoyment, that excitement when watching it, to be honest. And so it's just, this was the episode 3. After episode 2, I seriously considered not watching the rest of Series 11. But episode 3, I can see there's some things in there, and episode 4 looks a bit more interesting. So, there are some glimmers of hope in there, though I'm just hoping that we do get something more substantial and something legitimately good. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section, I guess. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.